Hi, it's Jordan Teen 1, and today I'm going to show you how to make a new bracelet called the Double Smile Bracelet. And this is what it looks like. It uses the same concept as the Smile Bracelet, only there's an extra band on every row, so it just makes it a little bit wider. And here is the original Smile Bracelet. So you can see it has this pattern where the bands sort of swoop in the middle. So with the double, it's going to have two of those in the center. And then on the other side, it's going to look like this. So I think it has a pretty intricate look to it. I'll be showing you how to make this bracelet on the monster tail, but you can also make it on the Rainbow Loom. You would just use 5 pins in a straight row. You only need to use this one row of pins. So on the monster tail, we're going to be using the right side and then also the 2 pins on the end to make up the 5 pins. You will need about 160 bands to make this bracelet, and today I have the Rainbow Loom bands. I have black, fuchsia, and orange, and so I'm going to just alternate the colors. So I want to do black on the outside, so I'm going to start with black. And my first band is going to go from the bottom pin to the next pin over on the right hand side, and I want to twist. And now I'm going to take my next color, so I'll use fuchsia, and that's going to go from that next pin to the pin above that in the center here. And now I'm going to switch to orange. That's going from the middle up to the next pin and twist. Now I'm going to switch back to black, and that's going to go from this top pin on the right up to the very top pin and twist. Now if you want to make the original Smile Bracelet on the Monster Tail Loom, since I didn't do a tutorial on that, you would follow this same pattern, only you wouldn't put this last band on. You would just start here and then put these next bands on, and you would end right here. But for this one I'm doing the double, so I want to put my next layer on, and I'm always going to be keeping the bands in that same pattern, but I don't need to twist anymore. So starting at the bottom, it's just going to go over to the right, and then I have my fuchsia that's going up to the next one, and then orange, and then finally black. And so now that I have 2 layers on, I want to remove the bottom layer. But on the very ends here, I only have 2 bands, so I'm not going to do anything to those. But with the pins that have 4 rubber bands on, I want to remove the bottom 2. So I'm going to grab the bottom 2 bands on this bottom right pin. Just going to get them both at once, pull them out and over the top. And then on the next one here, I want the bottom 2, so it's going to be one of each color. It's coming over. And then on the top one here again, the bottom 2, and pull that over. I'm going to push this down. And now I'm going to add my next layer. Again, it's always going to be this same pattern, so I'll start with black at the bottom. And now from this point on, every time I place one single band on, I want to do the looping. So I have this black band on, and you'll see I have 3 rubber bands on these 2 pins. And so what I want to do is I want the bottom band to come up through the middle and then go over the top. That's the pattern I'm going to be following from now on. It's the inverted loop concept if you've ever done an inverted fishtail. So what I'm going to do is grab this middle rubber band with my hook. I'm grabbing it from the top here. I'm going to twist my hook around to get this rubber band to go behind my hook. Now I can grab the bottom one and pull it over the top. So that's what we want to happen every time. So on this one, the same thing. I want this fuchsia band to go behind my hook. So I'm just going to grab it with my hook and then twist it around, so now it's behind my hook, which allows me to grab this bottom black one to come up through the fuchsia and over the top. And so now I'm going to put on my next band, which is fuchsia, and then once again on both of these pins I want that bottom band to go up through the middle and over the top. So I'm just getting this black band to go behind my hook, and the fuchsia can come up and over. And the same thing on this one, the orange is going to get behind my hook, the bottom can come up and over. And now I'm going to do orange. And now again on each of these pins where the orange band is, we're going to do that same inverted loop. So the fuchsia gets behind my hook and the other one comes up through. And here the black, so I'm getting the bottom orange comes through the black and over. And finally on this layer I have the black to do. So once you do a few of them, you'll get the hang of it. I want this orange to get behind, and then the black can come up and over. And on the top here, again, just going to get this middle band, push it back, and this one can come up. And so that's the pattern that we're going to follow for the rest of the bracelet. So again, we're going to do black at the bottom, just one at a time, and then do the looping. That's important. So we'll do the inverted looping here. Just make sure you do it on both pins, that band was on. And now the fuchsia. And now the other pin here. Just make sure as you're pulling these up that the bands do not come off. This top one could have a tendency to want to come over as you're pulling it over. Now we want the orange band to get on. And I'll grab this fuchsia. And also make sure that these stay in the same order on the pin. That's important too. You want to make sure that this fuchsia stayed at the bottom and the orange stayed in the middle. And now we want to add our last band on this layer, which is the black. And now the orange will get behind my hook and the black can come up through. And then at the top, getting this middle one behind, and the bottom can come up. So that is the same pattern that I'm going to follow for the rest of the bracelet. Just remember that you're putting one single band on and then doing the looping, and every loop that you do is going to be inverted, where the bottom band will come up through the middle and then go over the top. So I will just fast forward here. When you have your bracelet to the length that you'd like it and you're ready to take it off of the loom, you should have 2 rubber bands left on all of the pins. And since this is a wider bracelet, I'm going to use 2 clips, so I have 2 S-clips here. I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm going to take the top rubber band, which is orange, and I'm going to move that up to the pin above. So I'm just putting it on my hook and moving it up. And now I'm going to take the other band that's in the middle here, which is fuchsia, and I'm going to move this to the pin below. And now I'm going to take the bottom rubber band and pull it over the top. Do that for each of the pins. And now I'm going to take the 2 black rubber bands here that are closest to me, and I'm going to get them on my hook, and I'm just going to move them to the pin above. And I'll take the top 2 rubber bands and move them to the pin below. Just make sure you get both of them. And now I'm going to take the bottom 2 rubber bands and I want them to come up through the top 2. So I'm going to reach my hook inside, push back on the black rubber bands, grab the 2 fuchsia on the bottom and pull them up through. I'm going to take a clip. You can use whatever kind of clips you have available to you. So I'm just going to put the clip through. I just want to be careful that the other bands are still staying on the pin here on the top. So now I can release that. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I want the bottom two rubber bands to come up through the top. So I'm just going to reach my hook inside, push back on the black bands, grab these bottom two, can pull this up off of the loom. And now I will take my clip and hook these two bands. And now I'll go to the other side here, and I need to hook a couple bands, so I'll just take these orange bands here on the one side and get them through the other side of this clip. And now I'll pick up some of these fuchsia bands and I'll hook them through the other side of the other clip. And then here is the bracelet. So you can see the pattern on the one side, and then here's what it looks like on the reverse. And then here is the other one that I showed you at the beginning with the purple and white. So you can use a lot of different color combinations. I hope that everyone enjoyed making their double smile bracelet. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of my latest tutorials. You can also find me on Instagram and Pinterest, so please feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!